Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. We did. Of course, they're never long enough. This week in the United States, we're observing Memorial Day. So we have a 3-day weekend coming up, which is always nice, and we're really looking forward to that. So I was watching some videos early today, and I'm trying to find a place to set my timer here. I ran across a Carol Laws video, and I thought I would give that a go. It's a really fun project, and it has sparked a thought in my mind, and I think either tomorrow, Tuesday, or on Wednesday, I'm going to start that project that was inspired by Carol Laws and this project. So for this project, I just printed out something on both sides of a piece of cardstock. The way my printer printed out, I think it was this one. This is a Artie Mays print, and this is Rachel. Yeah, this is one of Rachel's. I think it's Pretty Backgrounds or something like that. But the way this one printed out on my paper, I had to cut it a little bit shorter, a little bit smaller than what a normal 8.5 by 11 would be. So this is about 10 1/4 now. And of course the normal, well, after I trimmed off it's about 8 1/4, let's say. Doesn't matter what size paper. I'll show you the process, and then you can determine what works best for you. But based on this, you can make different sizes of these as well. Yeah, the first thing I want to do, you will want to cut your paper down to the height that you want your piece. So Carol had cut hers down to 7, so I thought for this I would do the same, because I do have some larger journals, and most of them are over the 7-inch height. So I'm going to cut mine at 7 inches tall. I'm going to lay this aside just in case. I'm going to put I think I'm done with my cutter for now. I'm going to get my score board out. And sorry, my allergies are really bad, and my ears are driving me nuts this morning. I'm going to score, and I'll tell you what I'm doing on mine, and once you see it, you can determine what will work best for you. But on this particular one, because of the size of the paper, I'm going to score this side at 2 1/4. And this side, I am going to score at 1 5/8. Get rid of this for now too. This is going to become a flap. This is a flip. And I'm going to fold this over just short of the crease here. And that's why you can do yours at any size that you want. hoping this works. Okay. So that folds over nicely, and that's what you want. So then the next thing we're going to do, don't crease it, but this is how I do it. I match up my corners here on my what's going to become my flap, and I just cut at an angle, just like Carol did the same exact thing. Just cut off a little bit at an angle so that your flap comes in a little bit. And you don't have to do that. You can leave it square and just round your corners or whatever your preference is. Then what's going to happen is on the inside here, we're going to make a little side tuck here. And I've already got some book pages, or some miscellaneous papers together. I'm going to stitch a little mini journal, if you will, notebook in. We'll have a pocket and a couple pockets. Really cute to add to a journal, or as Carol mentioned, something you could even tuck in your purse, you know, for notes or whatever. So we'll get to this later. I'm going to start on this end, and I'm just going to basically simulate what Carol had done, but there are many different options to this. I'm just going to make sure my pages, I see this piece laying here that I cut off the bottom, so I'm thinking I might use that because it's cardstock. It's strong. I might use that for my little, do I have any, do I have any tags? Well, I got this little one. So you have a little tuck spot here. So I'm just going to go ahead and, didn't think out the glue. I want my glitter glue. I should have opened up my new bottle though. I apologize for my mat. I still have not removed this and put my new mat on my table. I have, every week I have full intentions of like just really organizing and cleaning my craft room. And then, you know, I get too busy wanting to craft rather than do the organizational part of it, and so it continues. I'm going to wait to, I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of this, if it will come out. I tried to be prepared. The one thing I forgot about was glue. So I'm going to put that right on this side of that score line, so it doesn't have any problems like opening and shutting. Oh, and you know what I should have done? I need to put some glue. That's what I need to do. Yikes. Can you tell it's Monday? I'm going to put some glue down here. Across there. The easy thing would have been to cut this to the right height. Then you would know exactly where you need your glue, but I didn't do that. I'm going to cut this off. So now we've created a little tuck spot here. Then she used it's like the backing to, oh, what do you call it? The iron-on sticky stuff. I can't remember the name of it. You know how it has that part that peels off the back of it, which sort of simulates like a glassine or that type of paper. I'm going to use some coffee dyed tracing paper to make a little pocket here so that when you stick your tag in you can see it. And let me move that stuff out of the way. I need a ruler because I don't know how big this is. You're going to want your pockets, of course, to fit inside the score lines. And so I'm going to make my pocket just about just over 3 inches. It's not quite. It's probably about 3 1/16, something like that. Let's see how this fits in here. Yeah, that'll be good. And then I want it to be about there. Our weather yesterday was over 90 degrees. So humid you could not breathe. And our daughter and son-in-law and two very young grandchildren were over yesterday, you know, to enjoy the pool. But man, does it take a toll on you being out in that heat. So today I am exhausted. I was tired last night, but today seemed to be more exhausted. And today, I believe our high is supposed to be 62. So you talk about a drastic temperature change, and then we start going back up in temperatures again. But sort of weird. Sunny, really pretty out. I'm going to glue this, but more than likely I am going to be doing, I'm going to be sewing around mine. But I just sort of want to show the people that don't sew that you can do this without sewing. Keep this little tag handy. This is actually one of my tags for hashtag 52 tags. I don't know what it's doing out, but I'm using it. Then on this side, she did a double pocket. And I thought, since I'm using parts of this, well, some of this paper sort of coordinates. I thought, I was thinking I was going to use, was it that? I tried to give this some thought so I wouldn't waste your time making decisions, because as we know, I am very slow, and when I have to make a decision when it comes to paper, it becomes quite complicated. Maybe I'll use some of that there. And measure how wide this is. It's probably, oh, it's going to be about the same. Yeah, it's going to be about the same. Ooh. Reminds me of my husband. I was like, my husband has done some really silly things the last week or so that, unfortunate for him, I was around to witness. You probably wouldn't like me talking like that. Sort of want to see what I would want to be. That you're not going to see. Maybe I could. Let me do it this way. I'm going to cut some of this off. I just want to get some of those flowers. And I'll make my bottom one about to there. I'm going to use some book page. I thought I had some next to me here. It's not very thick book page, but it's going to be enough that it's going to help to reinforce these pockets since this is printed on regular copy paper. That's good, Sheila. That's great, Sheila. Well, still haven't found my card I like to use. Hard to tell where I put it. The one thing I'm usually pretty good about putting right back. The wind is pretty strong today. And last night, probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock, you could see the sky got really dark and we thought it was going to storm. I mean, the winds really picked up, and I think the rain just must have gone north of us. But the rest of those oak fuzzy things that fall from oak trees, oh my gosh. There's right, like we live on a court, but on the opposite side of us, we're on the corner. The opposite side of that are no homes. It's like a wooded area, and the trees along there, oh my gosh, the fuzzy things that were falling from those trees, it was like unbelievable with that wind and rolling down the road like tumbleweeds. I mean, just huge, you know, so many of them were falling at one time. I don't know. I thought last week after the 2 big days we had, I thought that would be the end of them, but clearly it wasn't. I was like, oh my gosh, there's more of them. When do these things go away? Maybe. I think I will. I'm going to use this yellow portion on this, I think. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to fold this edge over first of all. I really don't. I think I'm going to go ahead and back this on paper 2, or book page. So today I'm back in long sleeves. Yesterday, if you were outside, you had to be in water. It was quite miserable. Quite miserable. We had to turn the air conditioner on in the house for the first time, which we turned it off first thing this morning with the temperatures dropping. I like to be able to have open windows, and when the weather's like that, you can't. You just can't. Trying to decide how tall I want this, and I definitely want to use. I'm all over the place here. This should really be the same. Let me use my trimmer here. Straighten up my edge. And how tall, I guess. To about there. No exact measurement. And I ripped my corner. I'm not going to worry about that. I'll make my little pocket a little bit shorter. There we go. So that's going to go on there. And of course I didn't put my pen in my glue. I think this is the last of the gluing, if I can get this to come out. I think I'm gonna put a little half. Of course, you could ink all this. I'm not going to bother doing that for this. Normally I would. Come on. There we go. I am going to be I will stitch around mine. And what Carol did, she stitched down. So, but you don't have to stitch. You can just glue this stuff in. Make sure all that holds up without creating any issues. And it does. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is, I have some muslin here, and I'm going to tear a strip out. Everything seems to be complicated right now. Okay. So, on the part of the spine that I'm going to stitch the journal in, I'm going to cover it with fabric. The one thing that Carol pointed out was, of course, if you wanted to put your stitch your journal in on this side, you certainly could. Here, or even here. I'm going to stick right here in the middle. I got some kind of, there we go. Just some blue fuzz. And I guess I'll use Fabri-Tac. I worry about it going through here. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to use my PVA. I'm just going to start out. It's so hard to tell. Let me see if I pull this up. If I can get my fabric even. I don't need a whole lot more of this. Just want to spread some around. Because once again, if I stitch the way she stitched, this will be getting sewed down too. And the PVA glue dries clear. Put that back. Then we're gonna, well, I should give that a minute to dry, I would guess. Let's see, what else could I do? Oh, yeah, I put that, I did that, I did that, I did that. Okay. I'm just gonna give this just a minute to dry, and we can talk about the closure. You could put an eyelet, of course, and just wrap some sari ribbon or lace or whatever your preference would be. Or, oops, let me turn you off and right back on. Okay, and I'm just going to start this again. I'm not going to be that long, but just in case. So what I was saying about the closure, of course you could put an eyelet in, wrap some sari ribbon, lace, ribbon, whatever you would want, and just wrap it around. Or you could do I have any? Let me see if I have any cardstock. Well, cardstock. Well, I have, oh my gosh. I'll use a piece of this file folder. You know, the little, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just do that. I'm going to punch out 3 of these. That was tricky. What I do is I glue 2 of these down, 2 of these together rather. Come on. I glue 2 together. This is out of file folder, so it's pretty strong. And what I want to try to do grab my little flags. I guess I should have made sure I had. That one's pretty big. Well, I might be stuck using this one. Looks like. I don't want any. Oh, I have all these. Here. Let's see what color I prefer. I like that color with that. With this, I am. Sorry if my head's in the way here. That back there. And one thing that you can do, let me just get it and show you. Take but a minute. Oh, those are my beads. Left these setting here. Is to take one of your eyelets. I haven't done this in a while, but and just cancel it out, as they say. I'm trying to use this hand too today without that brace, and it doesn't feel so good. So that I have my awl here, And a lot of people will punch a hole in theirs before they cut out the circles for these. I've done it both ways. I just try to get it as close to the center as possible. So I'm going through the two I glued together and the single one. And Carol had pointed out that you could use your crocodile too. The small hole punch. So this is the double one. So I would go through my double. It's pretty big, brad. Stick this on there. Stick this through the bottom one here and see how it gives you a little. That needs to be flatter. I have this too. That needs to be flattened out more. I think it's a little bit too high for my liking. It would give us more room. I'm going to keep it like that. I'm going to open up my brad here. Flatten it out. And then you glue this to your item. That way you don't have the brad sticking out the back. It's just, I've been doing it like that forever. It's been a long time since I've used this little eyelet trick. Carol had pointed it out on one of her videos, and I was like, I haven't done that for a long time. Because it will also work without the brad. Or the eyelet. I'm sorry, the eyelet. So I'm going to guesstimate approximately halfway. Put this on my little flap. Makes it harder to glue it down. Now, come on, Sheila. You can do this. I'm just trying to get that. I'm going to let that dry before I put my tie around that. But see how that gives you some distance here to wrap your ribbon or lace or whatever you want to do. I should have flattened my eyelet a little bit more, I believe. I think it's not flat enough, but for this it's okay. Then I'm going to go back to my little journal notebook. This needs more glue. Oh, it's between the book page and the corner of the pocket there. It's coming up. So I only have two things to do. This will be quick. I think for this I'm going to use the white. I always choose to work with the wax linen. You could easily use embroidery floss or whatever you may want to use to do this. I'm just going to do a quick 3-hole binding on this, and then come on, The reason I use this wax thread is because for something this small, you wouldn't have to. But when you're doing a journal with, say, 5 or 7 signatures in it, this sort of stays in place. It makes it very easy to to stitch it in. You know, it just, I've tried all different kinds of threads and all that, and I'll tell you, once I tried this, I'm like, oh my gosh, what have I been doing? Because even to tie your knot and everything, it makes it so much easier. So I'm just guesstimating my center here. And about how far down I want to come on this. It's just a little notebook. It's not a major journal. Hands. Get rid of that. I might have to get my pliers. There we go. Down. Back up. Make sure we come up on the opposite side. We have our little journal sewed in. Now I see where it's this one piece of paper. I'm going to fold that in a little bit further. And then the last thing, let me just use this. Those are too short. That long enough. You could use string or a yarn. I think for this I'm just going to use some sari ribbon, what I 9 times out of 10 go to. I don't think I would use the eyelet on this little thing. On a journal, I think it would work out much better. Do I want to leave that on there? I might leave that on there. Sorry about that. And there you have it. I think I will cut it off. I was going to leave it on, but I think I will cut it off. So, as Carol had pointed out, that's where it's knotted together on that. Sorry, ribbon. That's okay. This would tuck in nicely in like the front or the back pocket of a journal. There's many variations. I feel like mine definitely, I feel like needs some ink and some stitching, just because that's what I prefer. But even without that, it's a really cute project. This has inspired me to do something, and I am either going to start that tomorrow or Wednesday. It'll probably be Wednesday. But I'm looking forward to doing that. I wish that little knot wasn't right there. I could make this shorter too. There we go. Doesn't have to be that long. But isn't that cute? What a cute little idea that Carol shared with everyone. I think it's super cute. Just another piece of ephemera, you know, added writing space. You wouldn't even have to put, like, I think I put 8 pages, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I put 7 pages. You wouldn't even have to put that many pages if you didn't want it to be a mini journal, I guess is the way I'll phrase it. You could put less paper in there. You could make more pockets going up front and back, and then of course you got your little side tuck. One thing that Carol pointed out was if you had a larger journal card, let me just say, use this piece of book page, and it stuck out, as long as it doesn't hit this I guess I'll call it a spine or score mark, your journal card could actually be larger than what this little flap here allows for. As I was saying in the beginning of the video, if, like my paper, I told you what the measurements were. If you had a larger sheet of paper or whatever, you would just determine how large you want this little flap, how large you want your flap on the front. Or you could start out by how large do you want this section here to be, to fit whatever miscellaneous papers you want to put in here. And then just add on, you know. But I think it's super cute. I think it would be, if I had a book large enough, that's what I was looking for originally. I was just going to get a book page if it was large enough, and then you could collage the whole thing. This could be decorated so cute, but I just think these papers are enough, you know, that it doesn't really need to have any embellishment on it. At least I don't think. I think I will stitch all the way around it. But there you have it. I'll stop jabbering. There you have it. And I will be back tomorrow with another project. More than likely, it's going to be Tuesday, so probably be, I think Rachel does her challenge video today. So usually I try to do her challenge on Tuesday. Not always, but most of the time. But if I do the challenge tomorrow, then Wednesday I'll definitely start a project that I was inspired by this project. So I'll see you all. I hope you have a great day, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.